You don't have to settle for the status quo, and you sure as hell don't have to stand on the sideline and watch your dreams slip away. If you are listening to this right now, I promise you your dreams are 100% within reach and possible for you. But I know what it feels like when you're just starting out, and it can be all too overwhelming because we cannot make heads or tails of what to tackle first. We have so many ideas that we're passionate about, but aren't sure which one to choose. We feel overwhelmed, and are any of them going to even make any money? I promise you guys, if you are listening to this, I am going to change your life from today. What if I told you that I have 4 simple steps that are proven that will help you clarify and focus on your dream business idea today? Not only is it going to 10x your chance of success, not only is it going to cure that awful overwhelm, but it's going to make sure that your business idea makes money so that you're not plunging into the deep end and being fearful and scared about whether you're going to fail or not, or be able to support yourself or not. Guys, my name is Jen McKnight, and over the past 16 years, I have helped global businesses scale. I've also built multiple businesses from the ground up on my own, whilst working a 9 to 5, whilst having kids and a family and health. So I know exactly how you feel and where you're at right now. I'm also the founder of Business with Confidence, which is launching soon, by the way. So please look out for it because your life is going to change. And I'm the host of the Mind Being podcast, a platform that lets me share my experience and knowledge with you to inspire you and show you that you already have what it takes to make your dreams a reality. These 4 steps have been proven in more than 53 countries with businesses that I've helped build from the ground up. Are you ready? Let's go. Step number 1. Clarity is everything. Okay. People always say to me, please help me get what I want. This is what I want to do with my business. And I say to them, well, you have to be really clear on what you want so that you can tell me what you want and I can help you get there. Okay. Clarity equals impact and results. It's a mantra that I live by. The faster you are clear on what you actually want, the faster you're going to get there. Okay. You're not going to be spread in 20 different directions, because then your journey is going to look something like this instead of really focused and straight and clear. Now, one of the exercises that I like to propose if you're just starting out and have too many ideas and you're kind of doubting them and redesigning them, even if you have a business at the moment, I love to do this exercise, is to write down your dream. Okay, and then claim it. Okay, I want you to write down exactly what that looks like for you. What is your dream business and life? Okay, now it seems silly to do this, it seems so straightforward, and you're probably going to tell me, please don't make me do that journaling bullshit, but doing this and writing it down sets it, okay, in your mind. And sometimes this is the area where we start to feel a little bit of resistance and fear. Why? Because claiming something, your dream, means that you're opening up the possibility for failure. Okay. And that can be scary. But 2 things. Number 1, you will only fail when you decide to fail, because failing and reworking and enhancing for more impact is part of building a business, right? And number 2, what if it goes amazing? What if it's a huge success? It has just as much chance of doing that. Now, I don't want you to make a joke of this. This is serious business, people. This is your life. So when you claim your dream, don't make fun of it. I want you to not be afraid to tell people about what that dream is, because the sooner you claim it and not worry what everyone else has to think, or who's going to judge you, or who's going to tell you you're crazy, let them be. They haven't achieved what you're trying to achieve. I want you to claim it and get excited about it, because once you've claimed it, you're ready to take the next step. Claiming your dream means asking yourself, does the shoe fit? In other words, now that you've written down your dream and you've claimed it, and we're getting serious about this because this is your life, I want you to ask yourself, Does it light me up? Does it give me energy? Now, those of you that follow me on social media would know that I have a secret script that I live by. And this script came about from a friend many years ago. She's my best friend since the age of 5. And I said to her, can you describe me in one sentence? And she said, you know what, Jane? When something gives you energy, you give it 10 times back. And that's why you achieve so much. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that was actually quite a profound moment. And the reason that I say that is when you start to lean into things that give you energy and you're passionate about, that is when the light inside you shines brighter. That is when you have the persistence, the energy, and the passion to keep going. Because here's the deal. I promise you guys a no approach, and I'm serious about it because I need you to understand the journey that's ahead of you so that you have more chance of succeeding, right? I want to make sure that you win. Now, building a business is not always rainbows and unicorns. You will have days that are tough, where that bright light flickers and you ask yourself, what am I doing? Oh my word, I'm in over my head. And you have ups and downs and also magical days, okay? If you are doing something that you're passionate about, you will have the persistence regardless and the energy to keep going, okay? I have a whole podcast episode on the secret script. If it gives you energy, give it back. I'll put it in the resources. Do yourself a favor and listen. Now, I want you to look at your business idea and ask yourself, is this something that is going to fuel your energy and bring you excitement, okay? Regardless of the hurdles and the remuneration. If you're going to start a business just to make money, and I've done it 3 times, trust me, you will hit a point where you're not fulfilled, you're burnt out because what you're doing doesn't give you energy. You eventually give up because you realize it's not for you and it doesn't fulfill you. And you've wasted all those years. Because building a business, just so that you know, is going to take at least 3 to 5 years of your commitment, okay? We are in this for the long haul, people. So you have to make sure that whatever you're doing, you are really passionate about, and then you're going to give your best. Now, if you're not sure when it comes to your passions and what really drives you, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many passions in my life, I don't know what to focus on or where to start, there's a few questions that you can ask yourself to get really clear, okay? Think about the people you follow on social media. What podcasts do you listen to? What do you find yourself interested in and speaking about the most? What are the things that you daydream about, okay? Think of those moments when you get lost in the zone and time just isn't a thing. You forget to eat because you just enjoy and feel so energized by what you do. That, my friend, is the breadcrumb to your purpose. So you don't have to have it all figured out now. And yes, even if you have a business or you're starting out, that product, service, or offering will develop as you go. So don't put that pressure on yourself. Just start following those breadcrumbs. Now, when you're starting out, what I do like to recommend is that I want you to think about a skill that you already have. Or maybe you've resolved something in your own life, a pain point or a frustration that you fixed, you made better, and now you want to help other people do the same. Or you've got a skill set and you want to use that, you've got a proven track record to use that to help other people or companies do the same. So I don't want you to plunge into the deep end with no knowledge or experience for what you've done, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need a degree or you need to study more. I have a lot of Mind Bean students who come to me and say, I want to start an interior decor business, but I'm going to study a course because I don't have the qualifications. You do not need it, my friend, okay? As long as you have experience in your life, and don't underestimate that, you can start a business. You see, many of us have skills and passions that we take for granted and think are the norm. But when you look at other people around you, ask yourself, is that the norm to have that eye for detail or decor? Is it the norm to be humorous? Is it the norm to understand design or social media to the extent that I do. Okay, you only have to know 20% more than the person you're trying to sell your product or your service to. So think about that. Then I'm going to get into the next step, which is critical. So step number 2 is to choose one business idea and focus on that. I really want to encourage you to avoid too many ideas or vague ideas like the plague. Now, often we tend to believe that if we have more ideas or more offerings, or we're doing more than one business concept or service, that the chances of our success will increase. But they don't. And trust me when I say I see this over and over again. Your chances of success and your impact only dilute. So I know that you might be thinking right now, but Jen, these ideas are good. I don't want to throw them away. People need this. Yes. Okay. Write them all down and then put those aside, choose one, and save the rest for a rainy day. Even if you have a business, like right now, maybe you've got a side hustle or a small business, you can at any time redesign your product offering to focus on less so that you get better results, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. In my course, Business with Confidence, I speak about the importance of treating your business like an experiment. So you have to launch, learn, fail, launch, learn, fail, and keep relaunching and learning and improving so that you get to a point where you can scale and have very big impact. Now, you cannot do that, and the pace you need to do that won't happen if you are focusing on too many things at once. Not only that, you'll hit burnout. Literally, all that sticks is burnout. How many of you get home every day and you've maybe got kids, or you're single and you're working a full-time job and you've been in meetings and then you've got to get food and then you're trying to go to gym and you're trying to make your smoothie, right? And your to-dos and your time is not yours, and you get home and you've done so much, but you feel empty. And you feel like you haven't accomplished anything, that you're juggling 500 balls but not making real headway anyway. It's exactly the same for business. Focus on one thing, fewer products or offerings, prune those that are sucking your time and energy and not the right product for your business or not profitable, and focus on less. I recently worked with a global company. I'm a board member. They have distributors, 17 distributors, and they stock more than 53 countries. And when I started working with them, they had far too many products. Okay, it's like having 37 flavors of toothpaste. Okay, the customer doesn't care. So what we did was whittle those products down to 5. And the moment we did that, my friend, is when they saw huge success. So choose one. Save the rest for a rainy day. I still have projects. I started writing a book years ago that I am still going to finish on a rainy day. But for now, focus on one. Step number 3 is to ask yourself now, does your business idea fit the type of life that you want? Now, in other words, and this is really important, what is the life that you want and not just the business? Because building a business is not simply building a business. It's building the life that you want. It's your why. It's living with more purpose. You have to choose a business model or idea that suits the life that you want. Let me give you an example. My first business was a PR and events business. And when we launched, it was huge. We had a global project from the get-go. I had to build a fashion show on a beach in Cape Town. We flew people in from all over the world. It was magnificent. And the business was hugely successful. We worked with some of the world's biggest brands, Chanel, La Prairie, Guerlain, Bulgari, Guess, all of those, and it was amazing. But here's what happened. I became a slave to my clients. I was on call 24/7. Because I had built a brand name, not only for the business, but for me, I was the one that people wanted to see face to face. And I ended up exchanging my time for money, which made it extremely difficult to scale. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. I wanted something that I could scale easily and be really passionate about. And this just wasn't that. So I sold the business. Then I launched a skincare business. Phenomenal. Loved the creative phase. I created such a beautiful brand. I did R&D for 2 years, which is research and development. I launched. I started to grow. I had distributors all over the world that wanted to take on the brand. And then you know what happened? I realized, well, I hate the logistical side of this business. I hate the fact that by the time you've delivered the product, your margin is so low that you have to do massive volume. So the business from a profitability point of view didn't make sense to me. And so I sold that as well. So you get to the point where you realize and you have to think about, what is the type of life that I want? Do I want to exchange my time for money? Do I want a digital product that will scale and everything is automated and it will sell for me when I don't have to? Do I want to work one-on-one with people and feel energized by people? Or do I want to work behind my computer in the Maldives? You have to understand what you want. And you can do that by asking yourself a few questions. So what does building a business mean for you? What is it going to give to you? Is it going to give you more time to watch your kids at extramurals, more time to go to Pilates or gym, more time because you don't have to account your hours to someone else or sit in traffic? What does more time mean to you, right? And what will you do in that time? Is it financial freedom? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to build your dream home? Do you want to contribute more to your household? What does more money in your bank account mean to you? Okay, maybe you want to help your parents. Maybe you just want to get by because right now you're not making it by. And at the end of the month, there's just no money left for you. Okay, so do you want more purpose in your life? Maybe you're just not energized and you feel you're not expressing your creativity. Maybe you feel that people see you as one-dimensional and you want to express that creativity and share more gifts with the world. So understand your why, because you have to then think about, is your business model right for you? Now, if you have an idea or a passion, let's say for design or decor, you can adjust your offering to suit the life that you want. So maybe you have a design or interior decor business and you actually don't want to deal with customers face to face. So then you launch a course and you show people how to do it in their own homes, right? Or if you love people and you like that one-on-one interaction and you want to connect and you want to feel energized by people, then you do the one-on-one service. Different business model. So think about that. Now, just as important as it is to think about the type of life that you want, it's also very important to think about what you don't want, okay? If you do not want to sit behind a laptop from 5 in the morning till 7 at night, then you need to think about the type of business and life that you want, okay? Do you need to outsource? Do you want to do something that's automated like a digital product? Do you want to stop accounting your hours or being slave to demanding customers? If that's the case, then having a service-based business where you're one-on-one is not right for you. So think about what the dream life is that you want, how that plugs into your business, and then think about what you don't want, because that is just as important for your happiness, your growth, and your fulfillment. Step number 4, and I've left the best for last, is to validate your business idea. Did you know that 1 in 3 founders fail because they skipped this step and they didn't validate their business idea before launching it into the market? If you ask anyone what the essential steps for a startup is, they'll probably give you something along the lines of this. Number 1, create a product or come up with an idea. Number 2, find investors. Number 3, produce your product. Number 4, sell your product for a profit. But if you ask any successful entrepreneur what the steps are, they will add one critical step, and that is to validate your idea first. That comes before any selling, any production, any fundraising, okay? Validating your idea takes away that risk of diving in the deep end, spending time and effort and your passion, blood, sweat and tears and money and everything else into something that's actually not a viable business idea. Now, there's many ways you can do this, and some of them are super simple, so I'd love for you to try them. Number 1 is simply do your homework, okay? So Look online. What other businesses are offering what you do? What do they do well? What don't they do well? What makes you different? Okay. How many people are buying those products? If you would like to start a vitamin brand for women, look on Amazon. Look how many people have purchased that product in the last month. How many reviews do they have? If you're thinking of launching an online course, go to Udemy and look how many people are buying that topic. So do your homework. You can also go to community platforms like Reddit, Facebook, and put your idea out there and get feedback. So research, understand two things which are critical. Number one, is there a market out there, aka a consumer who has a real pain point or frustration and are willing to pay for somebody to be the solution? Your company. Okay, so is there a consumer that is ready and willing to buy for what you're going to offer as a business or what you're currently offering? Okay, and step number two, is that market big enough for you to have a viable and thriving and profitable business? Do this, do your homework, do some research, go on social media as well, and that is a very good start. Step number two is to flip the critique. Okay, this is a weird one because you might feel a bit strange doing it, but I want you to ask yourself, why will my business idea not work? Okay, flicking my pages over here, right? So why will my business idea not work? And the reason I want you to do this is because I want you to find the holes in your bucket before you start. Okay, so be critical, analyze your business idea, because if you don't plug those holes from the very beginning, you're going to find yourself down the line putting more time, effort, money, everything into the bucket, and it's going to be seeping through those holes. So ask yourself, why will this idea fail? Okay. Step number three in validating your idea is to put it out there. Tell people about it. Okay. Before you've produced the product and everything else, you might have heard the term minimum viable product or minimum viable promotion. All that means is to simplify. Don't spend all your time on making this beautiful product or service or offering and then only selling it, realizing that you haven't validated your idea first or done your homework. So speak to people that are credible, that have interest in your industry, or actual customers that you believe have that problem or that frustration or pain point that they need solving. What I like to recommend is to avoid speaking to family and friends because they haven't achieved what you want. So I have a very strict rule. You can see my little dog in the background. He's new. His name is Cookie, tiny chihuahua, cutest thing ever, annoying as hell, but love him to bits. So you need to speak to people that have achieved what you want or that might be your potential customer. You don't want to speak to family members and friends who don't understand where you're at. They might tell you you're crazy and to stick with your full-time job, and they might deter you from actually moving forward. So put your idea out there, put it online in communities, get feedback from people, and see where there might be potential flaws or opportunity to really scale. Now, I want you to be comfortable with experimenting a bit in your business. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your product or your offering, whether it's a digital product, physical product, or a service-based product, will develop as you understand your customers' real, deep, inherent needs and how you can serve them that much better. So as an example, you might find, for example, that maybe you're a lactation specialist and you want to show or teach women how to breastfeed their baby. As you move forward and you start speaking to people in the market because you're validating your idea, you realize that, wait a minute, these women are actually all working. All they want to know is how are they going to pump enough milk and build a supply when they go back to work. So your product will develop, okay? And that is going to give you the validation that you need and enhance your chance of success. Go into it with calculated risks so that overwhelm is pretty much cured, although you'll still go through moments of that. I'm not going to bullshit you, but you will go into this without too much risk, without plunging into the deep end because you've done your homework and you've validated your idea. Here's the thing that I see happen often, okay? As entrepreneurs, especially when we're starting out, and in fact, very big businesses too, and I've encountered this on a few occasions, we get caught in the trap of selling something that we're passionate about, okay? So I often hear the comment, but the product is great. I just don't understand. It's the world's best kept secret. Yes, okay. Tell me what your product is doing for your customer. What is it that your customer wants? They can't answer. So the reality is we tend to get caught up in our ideas because we're so passionate and creative that we forget to focus on the most important person in our business, which is the customer, what they want, and how we then can adapt our product and make sure that that idea is validated to genuinely and authentically solve the problem for that customer. Skipping this step will mean that you end up with price manipulation, trying to sell something to somebody that they don't really need, and that fight is really hard and you'll become despondent and burnt out. Trust me, I see it happen. It's a cyclical pattern that keeps happening if you skip this step. So your ideas, I know, are brilliant, but you now have to tweak your idea to make sure that your offering has been validated and is in line with a market that's ready and willing to buy, somebody that's willing to pay to solve their problem as you as the solution, and someone that has the money to do that. And then, my friend, you will refine that business idea so well that you will stop feeling overwhelmed by all the noise of the other ideas that are floating around in your mind. You're going to have one clear focus. You're going to drive that. You're going to launch, fail, launch, fail, launch, until you get to the point where you can really scale and grow that business. Be patient with yourself. This is a learning process. You are never going to have your whole business idea figured out to the detail or your offering that fast. The point is that you have to focus on one. You have to get clear on it. You want to validate it and then get it out there as soon as possible so that you can tweak and enhance that idea to be better and better every day. And with that, my friends, I say well done. Thank you for listening. I'm so excited to hold your hand on this journey, and look out because Business with Confidence is launching soon and it has limited seats. Your life is about to change. You've got this. I believe in you, and keep going.